Hey everyone, good morning to all YouTubers. Welcome back to another exciting head-scratching episode of Insane Disappearances. This morning, I am happy to say that I am doing another reveal with the speaker and the light. This is part 2. Now, I'm pretty sure some of you have seen the video from the last one, and I have seen the views, and I am very appreciative of that. I see that the ones that are supposed to see this video are looking at it, and I see the likes and everything. So once again, I just want to say thank you very much for your views and everything, and I love all of you, my fans and everything, for all that you've done for me as far as giving me all the praise, and I really appreciate all of you more than anything. So what we are going to do now, like I said, is do another reveal, and we're about to get started. So I am introducing to you again the speaker and the light, and we're going to get started. So you guys have the floor, and whenever you're ready.
Okay. Well, something I'd like to, a few things I'd like to clear up if I could.
All right.
Alright, as far as the message itself, it is for everyone. Now I understand that not everyone that hears it may understand it, but that's okay. You know, each person will take it in however they see fit, if they choose to hear it. And may resound in them in a way, and they may not. But the point of the message is to create awareness and to tell the truth.
Right.
And Father will carry the message where it needs to go. So it will reach who it reaches through that. And I thank those for taking the time to listen to Ab. And I hope that more will. If others wish to listen to the message, they can feel free. If they wish. We aren't trying to force, we're not trying to force the message on anyone. We're just putting the message out there.
Right. And I just want to say this real quick, that if anybody wants to ask any questions, once again, leave them in the comment section, or if we do decide, we'll do a live chat, and then you guys can come and ask any questions that you want, just so we can have a better understanding of, you know, what to understand about the message and everything. So, but that's pretty much it. But I'll leave the floor back to you. Go ahead.
Now, when I said the message is to create awareness, that awareness is about the return of balance. This balance is well on its way. Now, the other information that is in that original video, the message, it was to set the story straight, so to speak, to help those understand why the balance must return. How darkness has put the world into the state that it's in because it's gone unchecked for so long. Questions that you may have?
Let's see. I guess when they were here before in the human form, and when you were here in your human form, was it like before that happened, from what was explained before in the last video, what was the relationship between you and your brother like before all of that happened?
Okay, well,
if that's a valid question.
well, yeah, that's very valid. Okay. But to clear that up a little bit, I'm in a human form now, obviously.
Okay, right.
But what you're referring to back then, in a different form, was a guardian, just like you. And
right.
the best way to describe that is what people That would be the best way to describe it.
Okay.
And, as far as my relationship with him, it was the same with all of my other brothers and sisters. It was, we had our duties and we worked together, and it was, for the most part, just mutual respect between us all. We all worked together. We were all one big team doing what Father created us to do.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I pretty much covered any other kind of questions I asked the last time when we all was talking, together. So I'm pretty much good with everything else. So you can just continue with the message for everyone else at that point.
Okay. See, when he set up his life and he created darkness, there was that opposition. It was brought to earth. Now, this darkness lingered even beyond him. Now, what was here? When he was removed from this world, it was no longer. What I mean by darkness is, well, you may be asking, what is darkness? What is this? Well, pretty much look at all the negativity, fear, hatred, vision. So many people are at each other's throats these days. And I'm not saying that the individuals themselves are dark. It's just that is a result of darkness.
Okay.
And how they've been able to, enhance that fear, that seed of fear, and just play off of it for their own. Now, obviously, there is good in the world. There is still light. Good people that are out there trying to help aid the hungry and, take care of the poor, they can. And you have, like I said, negativity, all these people that are war hungry and things like that. It's, it's just clearly evident everywhere in the world. Like I said, the darkness is just, and where the light is still intact, it's here. It just does not have a good enough foothold, getting over it.
Right.
So, that is the reason why the balance must be brought back. It will have to be established in order for darkness to be put back in its place, so to speak.
Right.
So that everyone will have an equal opportunity to heal, and from there, learn and grow and help each other in a profound way that we haven't been able to do for so long.
Okay.
But there's people in this world that, look at it and they're like, why aren't we so much further in our quote unquote evolution? Well, that's been held back.
Okay.
See, when it comes to that, being held back, we are taught physical body, the physical world around you, we're taught that that's all there is.
Right.
And so that's all you focus on. But in doing so, it sort of separated your physical mind from your inner being.
Right.
And that causes, you get these little feelings every once in a while, like you don't need to do something, you don't really understand why. That is your being speaking to you.
Right. I've gotten that a lot.
And that can cause a lot of problems, especially if you're experiencing something beyond what you see. You start to question yourself, because that's all we're taught, that there is what you see.
Right.
And it gets confusing.
Yeah, but once you break through that block, then everything will come clear in an instant. So I've experienced that, so I know that's true. Now, for the ones that may want to ask questions about the guardian angels, the ones that may think that the name guardian angel would be just a metaphor because they haven't really seen one, they only saw what they saw on TV or whatever the case may be, can you explain to them once again the reason why that no one can actually see them with their own eyes, but just know that they were there to protect them, but at the same time they're still thinking, did that really happen, or are they really here? You know, is there a way to I guess that's going back to what you said before in the last interview, just to recap on that, so that they can understand why they can't see them, or are they really here, and the fact that they've been here with us since they were born, because that's what they were created to do for each and every single human.
Okay, well, actually, the Guardians were here at one time, physically. Now, when there was that outcry for their removal, they were removed from this plane. What I mean by removed from this plane, they are on a different plane, a higher plane. And to explain what I'm talking about, each plane has its individual frequency. It is a energy frequency, and they are on a higher level. They're not necessarily here with us. It's not like they're walking around with us and invisible.
Right.
But they can see us. They can watch us and guard over us that way. But
they can
only interact in specific.
if it's like a dire situation, like
Yes.
you need protecting,
Situation.
something.
Right. Yeah, protecting from any kind of death or any kind of harm, like an accident.
Yes.
I have seen situations where one person I heard about was driving down the street and a bullet came right through their windshield, and right before it got to their face, it made a curve and turned to the left and went right out the driver's side window. So there's that.
Well, I have actually had twice in my life experiences like that.
So have I.
Where I knew something had intervened on my behalf, but I didn't know what to think about it at the time.
Right.
Because that was before any of this ever happened, before I knew anything about him.
Right.
I mean, I guess it should have, looking back now, there were a lot of little clues and things that make sense now, but at the time, they kind of left you scratching your head. Because I really had one particular time when I was 17. I was in a four-wheeler wreck, and we had hit a tree. We had missed a curve. Okay. I was with a friend, and we were riding on her four-wheeler, and it was her and me and her little brother and a friend of her brother's, and they were sitting on the rack of the four-wheeler on a little throw pillow that you have on the couch.
Mm-hmm.
And they were messing around and doing something, and she had turned to tell them to, act right. And when she did, we missed a curve, and we went straight into the woods and hit a tree head on. Now, somehow, instead of flying face first into this tree, I was thrown off. But I was thrown off sideways.
Right.
And I hit like a very small young tree that wasn't very big.
Right.
But I didn't hit it directly. That pillow that had been on the back rack hit the tree like a split second before I did not actually hit the pillow.
Huh.
Now, the odds of that happening are like astronomical.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So, when that happened, I knew something just saved my life. This isn't normal. First of all, I should have went face first into the tree we hit.
Right.
But I got thrown off sideways somehow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, they can intervene when they need to.
Oh yeah. Like for me, like I've had tons of accidents that I probably should have been hurt from, but I came out of every single one, miraculously unharmed every single time. And I always knew that my guardian angel was there. But the situations that I may have been in, they were never like to the point where I should have been like dead, or I should have been hurt, because looking at the car and how banged up it was, my leg should have been hurt, or because it was like crushed in the front and the car was smoking. But I always got out of every single one, and it just dawned on me that one situation I remember, which was very, very prominent. I was coming home from work, and I was going in my usual direction, and I was going to go a different way, which was for me to get in a turn lane and go down the street to get to my house, or my mother's house at the time, that different way. But something kept telling me, do not go that way, keep going straight. And I kept trying to undermine it. And I kept saying, well, I'm going to go this way. But it kept saying it would not stop until I got what the voice was trying to tell me. And it kept saying, go straight, do not turn down that road. And when I finally listened and kept going and stopped at the light, lo and behold, there was a car careening from the opposite direction, going in the same direction I would have been traveling. So if I had gone that way, I would have slammed head on to this person. And I probably would have been dead. I wouldn't be here today because of that. And when I looked at this person's car, it came flying around and went in the direction that I was supposed to have been going, but in the opposite direction, and just kind of flew off and got on the road going in the opposite direction on the main road that I was on. Because I was on a road called Breckenridge. And of course, you got the 2-lane street going in this direction and the one going in the opposite direction. And that's what it did. It cut across the medium and everything just to go in that opposite direction. Probably was late for work for all I know. But had I not listened to that voice in the back of my mind, I would have been dead probably, or in the hospital, or probably would have been paralyzed. I don't know. But I know now that it was my guardian angel that saved my life. And he has done that many, many times. Even in silly situations, like a childish situation, like when I was little, we was all outside. I was living in Brooklyn at the time, and it was raining hard. And my favorite song at that time when I was little was "Singing in the Rain." I loved that song. And when it was raining, I'm jumping around like how he was in the movie and singing the song and everything. And when I go inside, after my mom realized it was raining, she was telling me I need to bring myself inside right now before I catch a cold, because I was like soaked. So I go inside. She's sitting at the table with all my family members, and she's got a switch in her hand. And she's preparing to whoop me because I'm outside jumping around like any other kid would. So she proceeds to whack me on my leg with this switch. And when I see her doing it, I'm just standing there. I'm like, she looks up at me and sees I'm not even flinching or whimpering. She looks at me and she's like, what's going on here? So she does it again. She looks up, I'm still standing there. She does it again. She stopped constantly whacking me on my leg with that switch. And these are real thick ones. She looks up again. I'm still standing there. And everybody around the table just starts cracking up, trying to figure out what is wrong with this boy. So I'm like, are you finished? Can I go back outside now? And she was like, go on back outside and play, boy. So I was like, so that was a funny moment, but I know now that was my guardian angel looking out for me even at that moment, because I should have been crying. I didn't feel a thing. It's like my legs went completely numb. But he protected me, you know, with whichever way he did. And how I know that guardian angels are truly real was when I had my very first view of him at 17. I had insomnia for 2 weeks straight. And I literally did not close my eyes, not one time. And every time I tell this story to people, they say I should have been dead. I'm like, why do you say that? Is this like proven fact that I should have been dead? Well, that just, it's not natural. You should have been dead right now. Well, no, just because I didn't get no sleep doesn't mean I'm going to die. But the whole point is that that night, the last night during those 2 weeks, I told my mom about what happened. She told me to read the 23rd Psalm. So I did. That very same night, I actually did go to sleep. But before I did, I said my prayers like I always did when I was a kid. And I asked to see my guardian angel, because I'd never seen my guardian angel before. I don't know if I said I'd never seen him before or that I'd never seen my guardian angel before. So I wouldn't have known if it was a male or a female at that point. But that very night, because he knew that my mind was prepared for that, because I know that if you ask the Creator to see something that you've never seen before, if you are ready, and if he feels you are ready as well as your mind is prepared for it, he will grant you that opportunity. And he did that night. I went to sleep, and I was awakened by this blinding light that just appeared out of nowhere in the center of my bedroom in midair. So the light is shining on my eyelids. So I finally open up my eyes and I see it. I get up, and when I'm standing, he actually comes out of this portal, which is what that light was. And I'll get to the last part that really blew my mind at the end of this part. But he comes out of this portal. Of course, I didn't know that then. I just saw it as a light, like a shimmering light that looked like a bunch of glowing spider webs moving in all different directions. He comes out. I see him from his head down to his waist. I see his arms. I can see his curly black hair, his strong, sharp facial features, big smile, white teeth, black eyes, eyebrows, all of that any human person is supposed to have as far as a face or whatever. I saw the robe, which was glowing. I saw the sleeves that were really big and loopy. I saw his hands when he was reaching down at me. I reach up at him. I grab his hands. We're holding hands. He's looking at me and smiling. I even saw his wings, for that matter. And after I smiled back at him, he just vanished into thin air. He vanished. The portal, the light, everything vanished. It wasn't until maybe 2 years ago or last year, in the beginning of the year, that I realized that the light from that portal did not cast any light on my walls, which is, according to science, physically impossible. In terms of physics, that is. You know, so that right there helped that memory stick in my head, because even now to this day, it almost seemed like a distant memory or a dream that I may have had, but I know it wasn't, because I was wide awake. And people ask me that all the time. You were probably asleep. You know, I was awakened by a blinding light. So that means my eyes were open. I was coherent. You know, I wasn't like, you know, my mind wasn't messed up because of me being, you know, having insomnia for 2 weeks. I know what I saw, and I will never forget that moment. So that right there was my awakening point as far as knowing that angels were real, and I never forgot that. No one could ever tell me anything different. So now I'm not going to say everybody had that same experience. Some may have never seen their guardian angel, but they know that something is there protecting them in their own way. Now, most people who want to see someone grabbing their body and shooing them out of the way or whatever, they expect to see something physical, but that's not the way it works. They work in ways that can't be comprehended. I understand it. Those who had the experience understand it. So for all those that may have thought or tried to say, are they real? Maybe they're not real. I've never seen them before. Those who had the experiences, if they try to explain it to someone, they don't understand it. It's really just meant for them to understand, because they had the experience. They're just sharing it with the world. So, you know, but yeah, they are definitely real. Most of I can contest to that. So for those that never seen them before, don't believe, trust me, they are definitely real. So, but yeah, that's my story. So please continue.
Yes, they're definitely real. I know that when he first came through to me, I would argue with him. And I would tell You're not real. And he would just be, I'm really here, but I don't see him. And when he speaks to me, I don't hear a voice.
Right.
It's kind of like, I guess you would say, a form of telepathy. I just know what he's saying.
Yes.
But he also speaks not just through thought alone, but emotion as well.
Right.
Like, you can feel the intention behind what he's saying.
Right. Yeah, I felt that as well. You know, I when I talk to my guardian angel all the time, you know, it's like talking to a big brother. And I feel the same way. It's not a matter of you speaking like with your voice or whatever. It's like you're speaking your mind with this universal language of mental telepathy. And you just know what they're saying, and you feel the emotion like you said. And I do that all the time. Because, see, my guardian angel has a calming, gentle energy. And my personality is the same way. And people will wonder, why am I always so happy or so calm? Even in a contentious moment, I'm always, you know, positive. And that's the energy that he gives off. And it makes me be that way. And I have been that way since I was a child. And I've had people tell me that I'm very humble. And it comes from that energy that he produces when he's near me. And when he's behind me, I can literally feel his essence, the shape of his body. You know, I could almost know that his face is like right there, or his body is like right behind me, and he's huge at times. But I know that he's there, and no one could ever tell me that he isn't. I could be at work, and he's standing right in behind me, making sure that nothing happens to me. You know, so even though nothing probably will, but that's just his job, to protect me at all costs or at all times. You know, so, you know, I do feel that as well when I speak to him. And it's like, if a voice just pops in my head, I just know right away that it's either him or that might be, you know, someone else. But I know what I'm hearing, and I know that I need to answer whoever it is that's speaking to me in that way. You know, I don't doubt it. I don't second guess it. I don't try to put it out of my head, because I just know who it is. You know, so, and when he says something to me that's part of his teaching or guiding me, I listen now. Before, I would just kind of not throw it away, but I would think about it, and then my impulses would take over, wanting me to do something else, because that's just what I want to do. Excuse me 1 second. I got a call. Hold on. I got to make sure she knows what I'm doing right now. Hold on 1 second. Hey, I'm in the middle of a reveal interview. I'm going to call you right back, okay? When it's over. All right, bye. We got disconnected. Shoot. Yes, we did. Oh, boy. Hello?
Okay.
Sorry about that. A friend of mine had called. I had to let her know that I was in the middle of a video. So, sorry about that.
It's fine. We were kind of confused for a moment there. You disappeared on us.
Yeah, it happened so fast. You know, I could have just let it ring, but we had already got disconnected once the phone started ringing. So, you know, and it does that a lot, especially when it comes to these solicitors, you know, or bill collectors. They be calling my number at the most inopportune time. Yeah. So yeah. So wait, what was I saying? She kind of threw me off. Oh man, I hate it when that happens. But you know, anyway, like I was saying, those situations that I've had, I take it with me, and being able to speak to my guardian angel is something that I cherish, because it's just like talking to your big brother. And I have brothers that I can speak to physically, but with him, it's a more closer bond now that I know who he is. I know his true name. I know his biblical name. I know everything I need to know about him for the time. And I come to him for advice, and he tells me what to do, what not to do. Just like yesterday when I was at work. There were things that I could have said to someone, but he told me, do not get involved. It is not your place to say anything, so I didn't. When I've learned to listen to him when he is telling me something for my own good, he doesn't interfere when my free will takes over and I decide to do something else. He can't do that. I
No,
know.
they won't do that.
Right.
They won't interfere with that because it is your choice. They cannot go against your free will.
Right. But when you realize that you did something wrong due to you not listening to them, that's when you learn. You know, they are saying something to you for a reason. And when the outcome happens, you realize that you should have listened to that person. And I have done that way too many times, and I'm cleaning up my situation because of that. But now I listen to him every chance. I don't listen. There's not one time I don't listen to him. When he's giving me some information that I need to know for my own good, I listen every time and I execute it, and my life just turns out very, very peaceful. Just everything just flows into place. Once I started doing that. So, yeah. So, is there anything else you would like to add, or I know this is the reveal, so I don't want to interrupt you any longer with any kind of story. So, please continue with whatever you need to reveal.
It's I don't really know what to touch on without questions, so I guess
Right.
that's one problem.
Just go with what you feel. I mean,
Yes.
that's always important.
Right. Whatever you feel you need to say, just if it comes to you, then just blurt it out. That's what this is all about. Whatever you feel is important that they need to know. I mean, you could do a recap or something that you feel you may have missed or anything, or just,
I know there's a lot to cover, and
Yeah. I mean, if we have to do more videos, I would definitely do that, but if you can't think of anything right now, but when you do, we can do it again as many times as you feel you need to. That's what I'm here for. So.
Right. I really appreciate that.
No problem. No problem at all.
oh yes, very much appreciated.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, that's part of my purpose, to be a mediator and to get the word out there. That's why I started my channel in the first place. I mean, I know I talk about people who mysteriously vanish in national parks, but there is a connection to everything, even with the message. It may not seem like it, but it all makes sense after they get everything. But, I always felt like I could convey more than just that type of information so that they'll understand that there are things that they don't know about that are real. Like if you hear a fairy tale or folklore, you have to wonder, where did that information come from? It had to come from something that was real, or else they wouldn't have thought about it in the first place. They had to have gotten that idea from somewhere. I know people are geniuses. I know people come up with ideas that don't, that most people probably wouldn't, but there was a reason for that. Everyone has a purpose for the information that they put out there, but over time,
There's an inspiration for it.
exactly, and that inspiration may have come from something that is actually real, but the only one that will know that is the person conveying that information, which is what I do, and so I know these things are real because I just know. I can't explain why, but I just do, because I trust myself and my instincts. I trust my inner being more than ever. So when a person is like, okay, what is he talking about? It makes no sense. If I feel like I need to add more information to make it more clear, I do that, and I use my channel for that very reason. So for you two, I am more than happy to do that because I know this is part of a task that I was put to do by the Creator, and I will humbly carry that out without question. If it's coming from the Creator and He knows that I'm supposed to do this, I will do it. I don't care what anyone says. If they feel like I'm doing the wrong thing because they don't understand it, if I'm not speaking their language, obviously they're going to have something to say about that. I've already lost one viewer as far as Facebook messages. He actually blocked me. I'm fine with that because he wanted to make sure I wasn't messing with the wrong stuff, and I tried to send him a message, and I can't send one. It says he's not accepting any messages at this time. So I was
that's really part of that
Yes.
People are afraid of things. They don't know how to understand it.
Right.
And so it scares them, and they don't want anything to do with it.
Right. You know, and he's a very good guy. He sent me so much information about people who vanished in national parks, and love the guy. You know, he's really cool. You know, he's always supported me, and that one little thing, that video, is what kind of cut us off. You know, but I still appreciate him for everything he's done for me, and you know, sending all these you know, cheerful comments about my channel, and being the one person that wants to drink coffee while he's at home and just get comfortable and watch all my videos or a new video. Yeah, I appreciate that more than anything, and I hope one day that he'll open himself up a little bit more to watch my channel and send me a message to let me know that he's doing fine. You know, I'm not mad at him for anything, and I understand his decision to do what he did. I'm not going to say that he's wrong. I'm not going to say that he's right, but that's his choice, and I respect that humbly for every reason. You know, so, you know.
Well, speaking, you know, you mentioned something about everything is connected. That is indeed true. Everything is connected, and it's on multiple facets. I mean, one, we are all connected through our beings to Father. Because, okay, when it comes to what people know as the soul or the spirit, that is actually a piece of him. So, how he...
In the Bible, that is what is referred to in the Bible as the Holy Spirit.
Right.
That is your inner being. That is your direct link to Father.
Right. And I feel that every day.
I mean, when you pray from your heart, which would be your being, you always get an answer.
Oh,
It
yeah.
might not be the answer you were expecting,
Yeah.
but you will get an answer.
Oh, yeah. And you just have to know that that's who it is giving you that answer. You know, some people may freak out. I've had people say that, you know, that you have to be religious or you have to be godly to receive this information. No, you do not, because we were created by the Creator before religion even began. So that right there, and this is something that I came to understand no more than 2 days ago, where I realized that when He created all of us, because, you know, through the process of creation, it was way before religion was even thought of. So back then, if we knew that we were created by Him and we could be connected to Him in that way, you don't need to be that way to talk to Him. All you have to do is speak to Him, and He will answer if He feels you are ready to hear from Him. You know?
Yes, but see, this is part of the reason, another reason why the balance needs to return.
Exactly.
When humans pleaded for the removal of the guardians, see, they also, not only did they separate themselves from the guardians and their guidance and their teachings, but at the same time, he could no longer openly talk to us because they were the mediators. The guardians were. You know, they would give the messages the Father wanted to receive.
Right.
And so there's that separation. Since the guardian's removal, there's been a separation now, and that's why people are so aware of it today. You know, I mean, of course, religions teach prayer, and still, I mean, yes, Obviously it does.
Is that necessary though?
Prayer necessary?
Yes. I've always wondered
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if there's something that's weighing on you, you definitely need to talk to Father about it.
Well, see, I think what my question would be, like, as far as that is, do you have to do all of the extra stuff, like get on your knees and have your hands touching and all that stuff? You can just basically speak to him through your mind, right?
You can do it however you feel comfortable doing it.
Okay. I just never knew if there was a reason for that, or did you have to do that? Because I find it easy for me to just speak to him without having to get down on my knees and pray before I go to bed. You know, which is pretty much the same thing. You're just doing it in every other aspect of your life, like walking down the street or going to work. I do that all the time, and if I get an answer, I get an answer. If I don't, it just, to me, it just means that it's not time for me to know that answer. And he will tell me when the time is right, or he'll tell me something comparable to that, but it's like planting a seed, so you'll learn it the way you're supposed to learn it. And I have done that quite a few times. So it's like how they say the Lord works in mysterious ways. He has his way of giving you the information that you seek, and he does it by planting that seed, by giving you some information that will make sense to you when it's time for it to make sense. Well, for me anyway, personally, when he tells me something, and then later on down the road I get it, it's just like, wow, it's like a booming in my head from me understanding it. So, but like you said, everybody has their own way of speaking to him. So yeah, I just wanted to make that clear because I wasn't sure how that worked.
Well, one thing that people that hear this can keep in mind and be confident in is that, excuse me, Father knows everything.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what you're going to pray for or ask him for before you even ask. He knows each and individual person inside, out, and upside down.
Right.
Knows everything.
Right.
Now, people may hear that and be like, well, why am I going through what I'm going through? They may be going through something hard. Well, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for everything. Now, that specific reason is for you, the individual, whatever you may be going through at the time. And it has its purpose. You may not realize that purpose until way later.
Right.
But you can always ask Father for strength and guidance. And he will find a way, or he already knows the way to get to you.
Right.
So, it's like when I sent my request, I wasn't expecting to get a response, especially the way that I did. Wasn't expecting it at all. But then we were talking, me and her were talking, and she glances over at the clock and it says 11:93. And she's like, wait a minute. And then she's like, okay, my mind must be playing tricks. And I said, what? And she said, I just looked at the clock and it said 11:93, but it actually says 11:43.
Yeah, 11:93 is not a time.
Yeah.
But when she said that, something inside me was like, okay, hold on to that. Hold on to it, don't let it go. And then I was like, okay, I've got to look at it. And I was like, get your Bible. So she picked up her Bible, and I was like, is there a 93rd verse of an 11th chapter somewhere in the Bible? And she's like, I'm sure there is, but she wasn't going to flip through every book of the Bible and look for it. So she had already picked up, her laptop and was doing an internet search, and at the same time I was doing the same. Because I voiced it, I was like, you know what, I'll just look it up on the internet. She said, I've already got my laptop out doing the same thing.
Right.
Well, we both do a search, and I find it, and she's not able to find it. But what I found was chapter 11, verse 23 through 9. And I read that, and
know, am I doing the right thing with this? And I prayed about it, you know, Father, is this what you want me to do? I don't want to do this for myself. I want to do this for you. And I was led to Romans 10:10 in the Bible. And it says, for it is with your heart you have believed and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. And that let me know you are doing what you are supposed to be doing.
Okay. I'm getting no, I'm sorry, but I'm getting this number in my head, 10:20. It keeps popping in my head, and I'm seeing Romans 10:20. I'm just getting that in my head. I don't know what that. I know what it means, but I don't know what it says in that verse.
Well, let me see. I can look it up.
Okay. Thank you.
I can look it up really quick.
Ugh. Screaming in my head. Uh-oh.
This is what it says.
Okay.
It says, and Isaiah boldly says, I was found by those who did not seek me. I revealed myself to those who did not ask for me.
That's exactly what happened to me. That's exactly what happened
That's why I
to me.
kind of laughed.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened to me. That is crazy. Okay, that name and the verse just kept popping in my head, and I was like, wow, why is this happening? And I realized there was a reason for that, since we're talking about the Creator sending us messages, and that's exactly what happened. Now, I had somewhat of a revelation too myself, and this is a question for you to answer to see if there's some clarification from that. Even though I already know, I feel it in my being that this is true, but I was reading a comment on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, maybe last month, about how these two people were saying how humans were gods because we create life. And then I already knew that it wasn't us that does, it's the Creator. He only has that power. But from what I gathered from that, and this is some information that he sent me, I believe, that we're not the creators of life. We are the creators of the vessels for that energy that was taken from a piece of hand to create our inner being. And I sent that to them so they could understand it. And it was an instant, like an information burst. It just came out, and I just started typing it in. So,
Yes.
so, yeah.
That is
But
what.
yes, to answer that question, yes, we humans, yes, we have we reproduce,
Right. And
and that's what we do is we create vessels for spirit to come into to have an experience in this world.
right. Yeah. Because it made me look at everything in a different perspective, because, you go through life just realizing that a man and a woman creates a baby. But when you don't think deep enough to know exactly what or who that baby is, you're not looking at you're not supposed to look at the shell. You're supposed to look at the person on the inside. And when you understand the person on the inside and realize what they are, who they are, the person that is speaking to you through the lips is the true person that you should be focusing on. And once I realized that we are all energy, that it makes us, and it also something. It made me think of something else too, where you hear that verse in the Bible where it says we are created in His image. But when you realize that the Creator is the ultimate energy and nothing but, He is energy alone, that would make us being created within his energy, not his image. If you were to,
it is in a way, but it's not a physical image.
Right? Yeah, exactly. That's my point. Yes. So I realize that too. So I was just like, it just puts me in a whole different perspective about everything that I've learned in the past and what I know now. So, and like I said, these images just come to me, or the words, or the reality of the truth and everything. And it's overwhelming, but it's understandable to me because I get it. So I sometimes feel the need to share with others, which I do. And some people get it. Some people ask more questions to try and understand it even more. But I tend to just, like I said, trust myself and my instincts. And whatever the creator wants me to put out there, that's what I do. And I'll do nothing but. So, that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will be right back. I need to
okay.
take a break for just a moment.
All right.
I'll be right back.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah. I think this is going pretty well. What do you think? Yeah. Some very interesting things to talk about, and I'm pretty sure my comment section is going to be flooded after this. Because
I really hope so. I want them to ask questions.
Yeah.
Whatever they want to ask questions about.
Right. Because because a lot of people ask me, when am I going to do another live video? And I said, well, when the time comes for me to do it, that's when I'll do it. So if you two feel that we need to do a live video, I would definitely be game for that as well. Because they come right in as soon as I hit the button. They come right in and say, hey, how you doing? So like I said, one person, like I told you before, Terry Lefevre's, his wife said that she says hi. So I was like, wow, okay, cool. Because she's a pretty cool person. She's been on some of my other live videos too. So, but yeah, I think this is going very well. And when I post it, I know it's going to get a lot of views because the first video has gotten over 184 views and 12 likes, and just that one like, like always. But that lets me know that it's getting out there, and it doesn't matter about the amount. It just matters that these people are watching and they're actually enjoying it and understanding it. Because when they say interesting topic, it's like cool. So I'm very happy about that. Very happy. Yeah, this actually went a lot longer than I expected, because I expected to post it at least by 10, but as long as I get it out there, they'll be happy anyway.
They might be happy with a one video.
Oh yeah. So, and by this being part 2, this will make it even more interesting. 53 minutes and counting.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah. I figured it was going to last about an hour if we extend it with a bunch of questions and we go into this long torpor about the information and the message and everything. So, and breaking it down in a way to it's more informative for everyone, where it can explain it a lot more, where they can understand it in 3 dimensions. And I knew it was going to last. I felt it was going to be at least about an hour or more, or not more, but at least almost an hour, or right at an hour. So, and they love the hour videos. They love that. They say they want me to do more hour videos. So this would be something that they can really get into, especially if it's constantly being poured in with this kind of information. So they'll enjoy it. I can guarantee you that. So. Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, very clearly.
Okay, well, we just, wanted an opportunity to help clear up any possible questions that people, may have, and shed a little light on some of the information that was given in the message. Now, but now, for people that view this in the future, and people who may go back to that first video message from the speaker in the live, feel free to put comments in You know, I'm sorry. Feel free to put questions in the comments section.
Right.
Me and the light will be paying attention to that, and we may have to take note of questions, and like you said earlier, may have to do another video to address those questions.
Right.
And I would like to add that, alternatively, if someone has a question that they would like to ask more personally, in other words, if they don't want to put it in the comment section below, but they still want to know something, then feel free to email me. I have an email address. It is thespeaker9485, all one word, no underscore or spaces. thespeaker9485@outlook.com.
Okay. And what I'll do is, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that that's a way that they can contact me, or anyone that has questions can contact me, and ask any question, and on the personal, level, and I can answer them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say was I was gonna do you a solid, and I'll put that information in the comment section, or I'll put it in the information box, okay, along with the captions and everything, so that they'll know where to go, just in case if they didn't hear it on the video. 'Cause I know they're gonna hear it, but it's just part of the information. I'll make sure that's good up there so they can read it, and they can
greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all. Like I said, I'm here for you guys if you need me. That's why I have my channel, to post information that they need to know, the truth. So it's not always about people who vanish in national parks. It's about the truth, period. So, just basically I'm elevating my channel, to a higher point where you can get more than just that kind of information. And then you'll see at some point in the near future or in the distant future or whatever, that there was a connection to all of this with this information. It helps you understand things a lot better. So I feel very strongly about that. That's why I never had a problem with this at all. So I'm willing to do this as many times as you want.
Yeah, okay. Another thing I need to address is that we understand that there may be questions that can't be answered. And
right.
If it's a question that they ask that can't be answered, it's not that they can't know at the moment, or it's not that they can't know. It's just that they can't know at this moment.
Right.
Because, there's some things that even I don't know. I've asked questions and, was told that I'm not to know that at this time. And, yeah, I have to admit from experience it's kind of disheartening sometimes, but,
yes,
just keep in mind, everything happens for a reason.
Oh, yeah. And
everything happens on the same time. So. Exactly.
That's what I was going to say, because that was the message that I received from the creators, and everything happens in its own time. So that's very correct. And I've learned that the hard way sometimes. The easy way and the hard way. About a lot of things that I wasn't supposed to know, because there was something that I was getting at one point that it was so big that I think I pulled myself away from it because it was a little too much. I think I accidentally tapped into that information that I wasn't supposed to know, and it was still a little too big, and I felt that, and I pulled away from it, and I haven't tried to get that back since, because I didn't even know what it was. I just knew it was something huge, and I wasn't ready for it. So I myself pulled myself away from that.
I don't think it was that you weren't meant to find it or know it. I think it was that sometimes you receive information that kind of blows your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
So, because I promise you're not going to accidentally stumble onto something you're not supposed to know.
Yeah. And it definitely would have blew my mind. I felt that, and I think I won't say I freaked out.
You?
Yeah, in a way, I think it did. I think it was going to be something that I wouldn't be able to handle. And I have been told this by my guardian angel before, that there are some things that you just aren't ready to handle yet, that you can't know. And when I felt that, I was like, oh, wow. Okay, that's too much.
I've asked him questions before, and he has told me, you're not ready for that yet.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, I wasn't asking any questions. It was just coming to me. It was like my mind was just open for that information, and I wouldn't let it in because I felt that it was just too much. And I think I probably would have went a little crazy at that point. I would have been questioning everything a little too soon, you know. And I think that's how I felt last night. And it was so overwhelming that I couldn't handle it, but I had to have closure.
That's not surprising. I mean, there were several times through this journey that both of us questioned our sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because before, he was so skeptical. If he didn't see it, it didn't happen.
I was the type of person that if I didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Right.
I was skeptical of everything. I mean, things I see on TV, things
Mm-hmm.
talking about aliens and Bigfoot and things like that. I mean, I still have yet to see Bigfoot or an alien, but I'm open to that now.
Right.
It is well within the realm of possibility.
Oh, yeah.
I understand a little bit better.
Do you want to share the experience that you had with him that let you know 100% for sure that he was there? I'll leave that up to you.
Yes, I can do that.
Cool.
Okay, I'll back it up a little bit before that, though.
Okay.
Now, it's, we don't live in the same state anymore, but we grew up in the same town. But now she came up here to visit. While she was here, and me and him had been having hard discussions, and he was giving me information and teaching me things. Some of it made sense, and some of it I was questioning.
Right.
So I prayed, and I asked for a way to better understand, what she was experiencing. And a few days later, there was an incident that happened. I won't go over that, but
Okay.
needless to say, I got really, really angry to the point of wanting to lash out, but I did not want to lash out. I was trying my best to keep myself under control. And just happened to want to go outside. And I saw that as my window. I was like, okay, this is my chance. So she goes outside, and I go with her, and I look at her, and I said, I'm going to need his help. I've got anger issues right now. It's a real big problem.
Oh.
I don't want to, come unglued on somebody.
Right.
And I could tell that it was him. He says, let it go. And, I was like, are you sure? Because my first thought was like, just do it. But then he quickly reassured me, don't let it go on anyone, but let it go. In other words, let it out.
Right.
So I did. And I was immediately surrounded in darkness. Like I could not see, just like you just plopped me into a completely pitch dark room.
Right.
And at first, that was very frightening. It was like I was literally plucked up and put into a dark room, and I had no idea what was going on. There was this overwhelming sense of calm that calmed me down. It set me at ease. And now, before this happened, I was facing her. But now when I came out of this, I was turning a completely different direction. You know, when I could actually see things around me with my eyes under darkness, I was facing a different direction than her. And, you know, that kind of freaked me out a little bit too. So, kind of came out of it like, well, what just happened? Where was I? And he explained that she helped him explain that he helped me. That he took that anger that had boiled up inside me and, you know, got rid of it for me.
Okay.
It was then that any doubts I had before, any questioning that I had was gone.
Right.
And from that point forward, it's been one day at a time, and it's been very exciting because I actually got really excited to know more and to ask him more questions, to really get to know, try to understand exactly what was going on. And he did. He helped me
Right.
get to the point where I am now, where just thing on its head in a way. It's not necessarily that it's made me crazy. It actually gave clarity to me.
Yes.
Understand things a lot better, more than most people probably could.
Right.
And it's kind of rejuvenating. You come from a point where you just see the world as it is today and just bogged down with all the sadness and anger and stuff that spreads that world. It's depressing.
Yeah.
But knowing now what I know, knowing that there is something better coming for everyone, and I do mean everyone, this is worldwide, and that everyone's going to have a chance to heal.
Oh yeah.
From all this pain these people feel, all this sorrow, all this feeling of being trapped, and it seems like there's no escape. But trust me, it's on its way. We will see a better day.
Oh yeah. I definitely feel that. I definitely feel that. You know, because I've had my moment where, you know, I had that same situation. I mean, it's different for everybody, but it's like, it kind of changes you, but it changes you for the better because you just like you said, understand things a lot better, so you can have a better mind to make a choice that needs to be made by you. So I have definitely felt that, because finding out things about yourself that you never knew before in a way that is done like, you know, in a way that can't be comprehended by others, it makes sense to you, but it doesn't make sense to everybody else, which is understandable, you know. So I tread softly on that because I know they're not going to understand it, and I don't want them to think that I'm becoming unglued or I'm not doing it in a way that they feel I should, because that's the only way they understand how that shit happened. I try to tell people that there is more than one way to receive information. You don't have to be a certain way. You don't have to be godly. You don't have to be religious. You don't have to be a person that read every single letter or every single word or verse in the Bible. It doesn't work that way. You can find that clarity, as you spoke of, through the Creator in a more natural way. And that's by you just letting Him tell you what needs to be told. You can speak to Him freely at any time you want. You could be in the bathroom and just start talking to Him. You could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. He's going to answer you if He feels He needs to. And if He feels it is the right time for you to know that information. If you have any questions, if you're curious about things, you just say something. And I try to tell everybody that. People try to say, well, you've been called by God. It was like, it's not that. It's just the fact that I understand. I understand I don't have to be the way you expect me to be.
Yeah, I mean, when you say it changes people, I was just talking earlier that yes, there was a time where I was a big skeptic of a lot of things.
Yeah.
But through my experiences with her, it's really opened me up, and I understand. Yes, a lot more about myself.
Right. Okay, so here's a question for you. Understanding from the time of the reveal and what you revealed, and understanding yourself here. I'm trying to see how I'm going with this. Which part are you understanding more clearly? This part here, who you are here in the physical plane, or that part? I mean, was it hard to understand that when you first realized it, or is it easy? Is it just as easy to understand who you are now, as far as who you truly are, or is it the same, or is it different?
Okay. I am still the same person.
Right.
But now, I understand who I was at one point. And I know that at that point I made a decision, a promise to be the same. And I came here to fulfill that promise.
Right.
And from lifetime to lifetime, I've had different purposes. Now, I understand that in this life, my purpose in this life is to spread Father's message.
Right.
As well as my other purpose, which is my promise to far to light.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
But now, if you're asking, do I remember anything from that time? No. I don't. It's not in great detail.
Right.
It's more of a generalized information.
Right.
And it was given to me enough to understand that there is a much bigger picture.
Right. Yeah.
And we are all part of that picture, and there's a reason why things are happening.
Yeah. And
that will all be clarified one day, and still the picture goes beyond that. There's no limit.
yeah, and I'm starting to realize now that this reveal alone is going to help me with something that I've always felt that I need to share about my true purpose. I know that it's not time for that yet to share with anyone, because there is a time for it to happen and it's not now. But having this moment right here with this reveal is helping me realize that moment is going to have to come, where I'm going to have to reveal myself as well. Because I do have something I need to tell people, but I know they're not ready for that yet because of where I am in this moment with me being a mediator. there's a time and a place for everything, and everything happens in its own time. And I just know that time is coming. But this will help bring that moment out for me as well. So I will be revealing something to everyone, but only when that time is right. So I knew I had to do it at some point, but this is gonna help with that. It'll help me bring that out. So I don't know when that's gonna happen, but it will happen. And it will happen right here on Insane Disappearances. So stay tuned for that. I said this before, but I just know it's not time for me to do that yet. So,
I mean, it's not a. I mean, we are. One thing I also want people to keep in mind is that we're all equal.
right.
I understand that it may seem different, like it may seem different right now, but deep down we're all equal. There's no one greater than the other. We all have our purpose.
Right.
And we all share this world. And once they return, if they are on the same level as us, they are father's children just like we are. But they are, of course, they're giving them guides, teachers, and mediators, but because that just it still doesn't make them any different.
Right.
We're all equal, and we're all in this together. It's all an experience for everyone.
Right.
No matter how crazy it may seem at times, and no matter how people may not understand it, but that's the whole reason for the balance return, so that everyone can be more unified. So there's all this division that there is in the world today, and with that unity,
Right.
we can come together. And if there's something we don't understand, we'll be able to put our heads together and learn it together.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, because for me, I've noticed that there's a lot of personal purposes, and then there's the purpose that you were created to do. Some people may not even. I'm sorry.
I said, yeah, I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so I know that most people may not even find out what that purpose is because they're not there yet. They're not at that level to where they can understand that they do have a purpose that was given to them by the Creator. Some may find that out now in this moment.
Well, to clarify that even
okay.
further, when the balance returns,
Right.
all things will be clear as far as purpose.
Right. Right. Yeah, I was mainly referring to like right now, like say.
Oh yeah, right now. No, I mean I understand that people may have a purpose out there that they're unaware of right now.
Right. But there are some that do know.
Yeah. It will come to them when the time is right.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the point I was getting at. Yes.
They may not understand it up to the moment that they are supposed to do something with that.
Right. Right.
But that's how Father works. And
exactly.
Like I said, his ways are mysterious.
Oh yeah.
But
now
they are powerful nonetheless, and I do mean powerful.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Now there are some that will find out very before the balance, like say myself, because I already know what my purpose is. I'm pretty sure there are some out there that may know, but I know that it's not supposed to happen for a certain time. But so people may know something is going to happen to them, but they may not understand it. There's some that will get it, and there's some that won't. So they'll put it off, and then it'll just hit them like a lead pipe when that moment comes. So yeah. So is there anything else? We're getting down to the hour right now.
I think it's getting pretty close to the hour, unless you would like to share anything else.
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm feeling anyway. I think we'll just leave it up to them if they have questions they want to ask. We will be happy to answer them.
Okay.
If we can.
Right.
Yes, if we can.
Yeah. Can you repeat the information again, as far as your email and where they can contact you at, so that they'll know?
Okay. Other than leaving comments, they can feel free to leave questions in the comments section below the video. But now,
Right.
if they feel like they don't want to share their question in that space, and they want to be more personal about it, they can contact me by email at thespeak9485, all one word, at outlook.com. OUTLOOK.
Okay. All right. So if there's nothing else, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, I would like to thank you for joining us once again today for another reveal part 2. And there's more coming if we all feel the need that something needs to be said. And at some point there may be a live chat where you guys can come in and ask any questions that you would like to ask, whether it be personal or something that you just want to know about, the reality of all of it. Feel free, like I said, like he said, to leave the comments below in the comment section. I will gladly answer any questions that I feel I can, or I will get with him and I will relay the message. But he'll be monitoring, he'll be watching as well as the light. She'll be doing the same. So once again, I'd like to thank you all for.
And,
Sorry.
I would like to add before you conclude, we send you all love and understanding.
There you go. You heard it here first, my friends. But I'm going to get off of here and we're going to converse a little bit more just in case there's anything else we missed, and we can just, talk about this in the next video. But once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming out, and I will see you guys at, later, or whenever I post another video about someone that vanished in a national park, as I usually do. But I would like to end this the way I always do with every video. You guys know how I do it. You all do. Yes, you do. So I would like to say aloha, mahalo, and ohuiho. And I will see you again soon. Peace out, my brother, and wahine.